I can't believe you never heard of me. I'm a very popular entertainer.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on, my G? How you doing this morning, Gary? This morning, Gary, you doing all right, my brother? Out early and about, making things happen, making things shake, changing your world reality every single freaking day, becoming the best version of yourself. I feel you, my brother, because I'm on that same journey, on that same mission. So I just want to say happy Thursday to everybody, man. I think we call that Friday Junior. Good morning, Monique. Yes, we call it Friday Junior. I don't know why, man. Bitmoji started doing that crazy thing with the with the Bitmojis, and so now I've adopted it. So well, it's Friday Junior. Welcome. Good morning, that chick. Yo, so happy to see you all this morning. Have you ever had those days where you wake up pretty much on time? Maybe you slept in a little bit, but you have the hardest time. Good morning, Craig G. You have the hardest time waking up. I'm having one of those days. I'm having one of those days where I generally get up around between 4:30 and 5 a.m. just on average. Because when you become super busy, when you become super focused and dialed in on specific outcomes that you want, or if you have a career that demands that you get up super early, you tend to have to adjust your body clock, your mental calendar, and you get up earlier than normal just to make sure you get on time. That's why old people, when we were younger, the old folk that get up with the chickens. Good morning, Imani. They used to get up with the chickens. And it's like, man, the sun hadn't even come up yet. Why y'all still up? It's still dark. That means it's still nighttime. And you know what they used to tell me? Keep living, young man. Keep living. And I promise you, I totally get it now. So shout out to all the old heads out there who had to make it happen for so many years before I even understood what it meant. Oh man. So yesterday was a good show. I went back and I went to reviewed it because somebody was having some technical difficulties, and I wanted to make sure that the stream actually went out the way I thought that it went out. Make sure it wasn't nothing that I need to tweak. And I was happy with the show yesterday. I think that the points that I wanted to make was well received. I think the feedback was on point and timely. So kudos to you guys and thank you so much. And so for anybody who's going to pick this stream up today for the first time, well, let me introduce myself. I've been a little lazy with that. For those of you who don't know me, those of you who are just stumbling across this platform, this channel right now, my name is Jamon Glover, and I am a personal and family development coach. Been doing it in this space for 20 plus years personally, but about 10 years professionally. I work with fathers, I work with families. I do a lot of family success things, personal development coaching. And I've been doing it and I love doing it, is my passion, but it's not 100% all that I do. I'm also a production specialist or a freelance videographer, somebody who goes around. I'm a hired gun to bring a camera in, to go set up lights, to run teleprompter, to help with audio. I help get productions done. And that's my passion. That's kind of my fun thing, my hobby. I was always the kid who had the little small camera, the little wind up joint. That was always me, taking pictures. And I got away from it because I didn't know that people could have a career doing that. So I go back to the question, how do you become something you didn't even know was a job? How do you be something you never saw as a real thing? And so I never really, it was just something to do. And then one day I was sitting in the student union at school after my time in the military, and I saw this young lady filled with excitement as she was offloading camera footage onto her laptop. And I inquired what she was doing because I hit a space in my life. Now, this is after the story that I'm going to tell you guys today, the one that I started yesterday. This is after that point. So I was in this lost place in my life. I didn't know what my value was. I didn't know, honestly, I had no idea what I even wanted to be at that point, what I wanted to do with my life. And I'm 30 plus now, 32 now, and I still feel lost. I feel like I'm behind my peers. I feel like I'm behind the power curve. I feel like I'm losing in life. My value proposition was all jacked up. And then I see somebody on fire for something that they love doing. And it was actually something that I used to love doing as well. And that is kind of how I got into or back into the creative side. Because I was going to school for business before, business administration. I was going to get my MBA, and I was going to go in the business world and do something. No, still no clue what I was going to do with that business degree. I was trying to find value in some different spaces. So have you gotten your journal yet? JuwanGloverSpeaks.com. As you can see, mine is still blank. I normally fill it out in the morning when I first get up, so I'm being vulnerable with you today. I normally fill it out when I get up. Today, I'm struggling trying to wake up. My thoughts are not coming the way that they normally flow, and it's just one of those days. And I just want to put that out there. I don't want to give the impression that I have somehow mastered life and got it figured out. No, every day I still struggle with the same things that you struggle with. I am still flawed in a lot of ways. There is no end to the personal development journey, because as soon as you think you got it figured out, life happens, and then you kind of have to reset. You got to adapt, you got to make adjustments, and you got to move on. But what I will say is I'm in a much better place. Speaking of places, you guys know how I've been kind of really talking about vibrating at that higher level. And once you get to that level, once you get to this level, you will meet the things where they are, what frequency that there are. Well, I got a quick story that I want to share with you. Yesterday was a very tiresome, full day. I went literally from 5 a.m. At the moment we got off the show, I went in to take care of some other stuff in one location, driving there, across the street to another location. And my whole day was just like that. I literally did not stop working until I got home last night about 9 o'clock. So from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., I literally worked all day long. The only break that I received was when I went to pick up some food for a class. I had a class yesterday that I was doing. But something happened on that break, and it gave me all new energy. My energy was revived. Y'all know I've been talking about, I don't like a lot of cars, but there's one car in particular that I like. And let me see if I can pull that up. I'll say you for later. Yeah, that car right there. That Bentley GT Continental. Well, I get on the highway going to pick up food, and I see out the corner of my peripheral a flash of something white. And I look back and I can't make it out because it's still too far away, but I know it's a nice vehicle. So I'm watching my rearview mirror as it's coming closer and closer. And it was speeding. I mean, it was rolling. That's how I spotted it, because it was darting in and out of traffic. Well, when this car got to me, for some reason, it slowed down and slowly passed me. So I got a chance to watch my dream car just slowly and smoothly pass me on the highway as I'm feeling down. As I'm feeling, not down, but I'm feeling tired. I'm exhausted. And I'm holding the steering wheel and I'm watching it go by. And all of a sudden, my heart started beating faster. All of a sudden, I got excited because I understood. I do not. How many times do you see a Bentley driving down the street? I don't know where you're from, but where I'm from, I've never seen a Bentley driving in the area that I live. Matter of fact, I haven't even seen a Bentley in the areas that I live. Now I saw a Rolls Royce parked outside of a Walmart one day when I was getting groceries. I mean, I've seen every other car, but a Bentley is something I've never seen. Or have they always been there, but am I now just vibrating on the high frequency so that now they're in my vision pool, my peripheral? They're on my mind now. So I'm starting to notice them more. And then I would say that's enough. I was excited just for that reason alone. But then something else happened. You guys know how I've been speaking, having multiple properties and all these other things, right? I'm gonna just drop the bomb. My wife, I ain't gonna tell it right now, but my wife has received some good news yesterday about a property that we were inquiring about. I'm just saying, that vibration thing is real. It's real. And I'm trying to give you this guys real time because I am living this stuff just as I am talking about it. I believe in it because I've seen it work for so many other people. And yesterday, before we get into our gratitudes, yesterday we talked about how when animals are born, they come really already equipped with everything they need to survive. Some of them need a few minutes to gather themselves, but they get up, they've got fur on already, their teeth already in, they're ready to go out and eat and survive. Some need a couple of weeks to kind of get it together, but humans, it takes us years to get it together. It takes us years to figure out where we're going. Hey, that chick yo said, caught a glimpse of your future blessing. I sure did. Exactly, Monique. Exactly. I sure did. Animals are born with instinct and they survive off instinct. But as humans, we have intellect, meaning we get to imagine and decide the kind of life we want to live. Instead of standing in the water for hours trying to catch a fish, we design structures that go over top of the water so we can stay dry while we fish. We design crafts that go on the water and under the water. As humans, we can create any environment that we choose, and we can live in that environment. We can play in that environment. If the imagination, if you can conceive it here, you can manifest that thing. You can create whatever it is. That is the blessing. That is the gift of all humans. If I say typewriter, did you see the word typewriter or did you see the picture of a typewriter in your head? I'll wait. Let me know. When I said typewriter, did you see the typewriter in your head or did you see the word typewriter? It's not a trick question. I just want to know what you saw. Because as humans, it's impossible for us to do literally anything creative anyway without us first seeing it in here. Now, whether we actually saw the image of it or we saw the word that says something different about us. We're not gonna go that deep into it today, but I just want to paint a picture before we get going too deep. And if you driving, I understand. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Monique said she saw the actual typewriter. She saw the typewriter. Most people will see the image of the thing. That's your clue to let you know that everything starts here. So when you see people who are outwardly adorning themselves, whether it's the haircuts, whether it's the jewelry, the chains, the watches, the rings. You see guys out here, pushing the Bentleys, but then you get to know them and you realize this dude got some problems. That's what you call fugazi, right? He's not who he presents he is. He's not what he presents. But because he presents a good image on the outside, more people are open to accepting him as they see him. What about the young lady? You know what? I'm not gonna get on the young ladies today. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do it. We're gonna stay on the fellas today. So when you meet this guy and you realize that he is not as advertised, what's the first thing that we normally say? This guy needs therapy. This guy needs to go fix some things in between his ears. Let me ask just a hypothetical question. What if this particular guy did fix everything between his ears and he's dealt with his trauma issues, his daddy issues, his mama issues, his community issues, and now he's a solid 100% authentic guy? Would he even want all of the other stuff? Would he even want to have all of that stuff? Or does all of that stuff creates a certain level of validation for him to make him feel a way? Because think about it. Some of the richest people in the world, they don't drive super expensive cars. They don't wear Louis all the time. They don't wear jewelry all the time. They might do it on occasion, but in general, the richest people in the world, they dress so low key because they don't really need the validation. Because in order to get to that level, there are certain things that have to be fixed in the heart, in the mind. And when you get to that level, you're at peace with yourself. You are dressed for occasions, but you're not trying to impress anybody anymore. And so that's what we're talking about today. How are we increasing our value? How are we increasing our value? What value do we bring? So let's get ready to go into these gratitudes. And I didn't fill out my sheet this morning, so I'm going to go off top of the dome, hoping it don't come out a nightmare. But I'm feeling you. I'm with you. I understand how it is sometimes. But I have a sheet that reminds me that I need to do it. And so even though I haven't done it now, I still will get it done today. All right, so let's get these gratitudes in. And I will see you. I will give you 30 seconds and I'll be right there. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for health. I'm grateful for a mind that is always searching to find the answers to things I may not understand. I'm grateful for friends and family that surround me with love, that keep me in their prayers, that speak well of me, hope the best for me. I'm grateful for the opportunity to provide for my family. So I'm grateful for the jobs that I have. I'm grateful for the opportunities that abound around me. I'm grateful to see my visions drive past me on the highway. Because I know if that person can do it, I also can do it. Because I'm a human being just like them. I have the same gifts, the same intellect, the same thoughts. And I know that if I can hold it in my mind, I can also hold it in my hand. So I'm grateful for that knowledge. I'm grateful. There we go. I'm grateful. Okay. I didn't quite finish the story yesterday that I started about the church and the things that happened to me, my family in that church. And I want to go a little bit deeper into the story. I want to guys tell you how it ended, how it resolved itself. Because it's very important to how I open today. When I was working in the church, I was in a space where sorry. I was in a space where I was seeking validation. And so everything that this pastor would ask me to do, I did it. Every time he needed a favor, I was there to grant it because this is the man of God, right? We're taught that touch not thine anointed, do my prophet no harm. This is the man of God, so if he's asking, I'm doing it for the kingdom. Not so much for the man, but for the cause, for the mission, for the kingdom. And I was looking for my validation that I was doing something right because I had childhood traumas. Can anybody relate to childhood traumas? I had some things that were holding me back from fully being who I thought I should have been. I had trust issues. And I'm not going to dive too deep into my childhood traumas, but my father didn't believe I was his kid for quite a few years. And there's something when you feel the rejection from a parent that it is hard to really put into words. It's a deep seated thing that you never fully feel whole. It's like something is missing. It's just there, but you can never quite attain it. But then you see your other siblings, you see the other people around you, and they have that. Even with your parent, you see the relationship that you don't have, and you feel like you never have it. And then you begin to ask, why me? What did I do? Why don't I deserve to have that thing? I see some agreements in the chat. Yep, absolutely. Canada in the building. Hey, Toronto Riggins, what's going on, my brother? I think my brother. If it's my sister, I apologize. But that's where I was by the time I had gotten to this church. I was in the military. I served my country honorably discharged, and I was trying to find my space in life. Because as I said in a couple of episodes earlier, when you are a soldier, everything is sister. Haha, my bag. Hey sis. When you are a soldier, most of your needs are provided for. And you have an identity. You are a U.S. fighting person, a soldier. But once that cape is taken off and you go back into regular life, there's everything comes back. You no longer you have to recreate an identity. And so that's where I was. So when I started working in this church, I am given everything. I remember one time he needed to get somewhere, but his car was having troubles. Hi. His car was having troubles. And so I gave him the keys to my truck and I sat out in the drizzle of the rain and I fixed his car. Tell me that's not a dedicated soldier right there. I fixed his car and I had the skill set to do it, so I did it. It wasn't hard and it just happened to be raining. Had it been dry, I still would have done it. But I just used it as an example to say I was committed to the cause. And so the issue that I had was I wasn't, what's the best way to say this? I was becoming myself, the person that I had envisioned, but I was doing it in somebody else's space, on somebody else's platform. Basically, I was shining brightly on somebody else's stage, and they gave me the keys to do it. They gave me the they gave me the go ahead to do it, not realizing that I was going to shine that bright. Now, 6 months after this incident happened, I was reading a book called The 48 Laws of Power. And in that book, I realized the error. The first freaking chapter of the book said it. Rule 1, never outshine the master. Never outshine the master. And so that's what I had been doing. For 3 weeks, I was just glowing and just beaming and just giving all that I had in me to give. And it caused some tension, some cognitive dissonance within him. And he felt away, which caused him to react how he reacted. Now, because I was seeking validation and this happened, guess what happened? I'm vibrating on what he said. This man just cursed my family. Nothing's going to go right for us. Nothing is going to nothing's going to succeed. The work of our hands are going to dry up. I mean, he gave all this list of things that was just going to go bad for us. And it just so happens we found out that my wife was 4 months pregnant, like maybe 2-3 days before. Let me do that again because I don't think you heard it. We found out my wife was 4 months pregnant 2 days before this happened. And you know what happened? 3 weeks later, the baby is here. My son was barely 5 months old when he was born. Emergency C-section. Did this man really curse us? God, did I do something wrong? Am I being punished? Is my family being punished for something that I did that was wrong? So I began to vibrate at this level because in my mind, somehow or another, I deserve this. What did I do? And I'm sitting back trying to understand because I'm believing these words. I'm believing this man. I'm believing what it said. And I wasn't just blindly believing. I've always been a reader and a studier. And so I saw some of the things, and I still haven't found the one where God gives pastors the ability to curse people. I haven't found that one yet. I'm still looking for it. And if I find it, I'll let you know. But I'm spiraling now because my life is in shambles. My faith has been shaken. My wife is in the hospital. She has a tumor on her adrenal gland that's about that big, which is what caused the baby to come early. The baby is now fighting for his life because he's barely 2 pounds. He's barely 5 months old. My life is shaken. I work full time. I go to school full time. And I have 2 other small children in the house that have to be shuttled back and forth to school. For about 90 days, my life was a wreck. My life was an absolute wreck. Yeah, Toronto Reagan said dedicated for sure. Yeah, I was dedicated because I chose to. And okay, this is a great place to stop right here. When you in a relationship with somebody and they say, I choose you, those are powerful words because obligation and choice, they are worlds apart. If I'm obligated to a thing, if you guilt me into doing the thing, then I feel a sense of obligation to you. But if I choose to do that thing, if I choose you, I can't speak for anybody else. But choice makes all the difference. So you want to find people that choose you every day. Just a side note, but then back to the topic at hand. And so I started reading this book, 48 Laws of Power, and then I understood. And then my guy that was in the church, because we left the church, we went in that next Sunday, and I asked the pastor, hey, can I address the group? We're leaving. Just want to let you know that we're going to leave because there's no way we can really move forward from here. So, but I would like to address the church because I don't want them to think that I'm about to go start a church or go do something. I don't want to cause any division. And he was like, well, I'd appreciate that. Yeah, go ahead. So I went out and I addressed. I'm still being respectful. I told everybody that we're gonna, we're gonna find somewhere else to go and serve and worship. That we were not going off to do our own thing. So don't come trying to follow us or anything like that. And we walked away that day, and we never really looked back at that space, at that ministry. But the guy that was there, my friend, my guy, he would hit me up every day. He was always championing me, checking in on me. And he would say, you can't curse what God has blessed, man. You can't curse what God has blessed, man. You can't curse what God has blessed. He's like, I don't know what you got to go through. I'm gonna call his name OJ. OJ. He said, you can't curse what God has blessed. And he threw those same scriptures back on me. Touch not thine anointing, do thy prophet no harm. Because he saw something in me that I hadn't yet seen in myself. And I wouldn't see it for a few more years. I would not see it for a few more years. You see, I was so busy trying to provide or to receive validation that I stopped providing the value to myself. I was so busy working in instinct, and I wasn't working it with my intellect. I was creating something around somebody else's vision and not my own. Not my own dream, not my own goals, not my own inner person. I was becoming the worst thing you can be in life. I was becoming a carbon copy of somebody else instead of myself. And so something had to happen to shake me out of that. Let's see. Toronto Regan said, God will reverse it back on to them. I've seen it happen in my life. Monique says, that scripture is not just for the pastors, but it has been delivered as if it is. Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. You never lied there, I tell you. But yeah, so in the irony of the whole situation, we were on a trip maybe a year or two before. My family, the pastor's family, and we went to his home church where he was raised. And he made a statement to me because there had been some kind of dysfunction in that church before he left going to college. And he said, you know what, Glover? He said, when people act out of God's will, God himself will put the brakes on them. He will slow them down. He will cause things to drop in their life until they get it right. And he gave me examples of things that he saw how it happened. And so as these things are now happening in my life, I'm thinking, God, what are you doing? What did I do? Why are you doing this to me? But what I wasn't realizing is that doors that seemed like they were closing, they were actually opening for me. And I watched on the back end things start to shut down for him, for the ministry. I started watching it fall apart slowly but surely. And I was sad because to this day, I still think he's an amazing teacher. That's what first attracted me to the ministry. He's an amazing teacher. He has an understanding that I did not have at the time. His gift was totally teaching. And anybody that came into the space, they were blessed. They had a new insight about scriptures, about life. I mean, this guy was dope as a teacher. And I hated that that church eventually ended. It collapsed. It folded in on itself. But he never got it right. His own words condemned him. Because some years later, I reached out to him. I don't like carrying grudges. I don't like being mad with people. I don't like tension and drama. I pay for peace. I love peace. I love peace. Now, don't get it twisted. I will fight if I need to. However, if I don't need to, I try not to. Because peace, I value my peace more than anything. And so I reached out to this pastor some years ago, and once through social media, the second I got his number from somebody, and I called and left him a message. He's never responded or anything. But that was my attempt to reach out to try to make things right. So where's all this going? Why am I talking about this like in this space today? Because when you don't understand your value, when you don't understand that the work must happen on the inside of you first, before you ever start adorning the outside of you, before you ever start attaching to other people's missions and visions, the work must begin inside creating your own value. Because if you don't have a good idea of who you are, was that gifts are without repentance? Gifts without repentance. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But if you are not, you don't have a foundation of who you are, people will take advantage of you. People will misuse you. People will often abuse you. And so, you know me, I like dropping these little clips in. And one of my favorite cartoon movies of all times, of course, you guys probably have figured out by now, it's The Lion King. It's The Lion King. So I want to drop this clip in there, and I want to kind of talk through this short clip real quick. Not you, buddy. I'll see you soon, though. I will definitely see you soon. But this is the one I want. All right, let's roll this and let's talk it through. So this scene is Simba has run away, has died. So he's run away from home and he's out in the desert from Pride Rock, and now he's
I love this bowling for butt.
Gets him every time.
Uh-oh. Hey, Timon, you better come look. I think it's still a...
Alrighty. What do we got here?
So the craziest thing, just to start out, Timon and Pumbaa. What are they? A warthog and a what? What is Timon? Is he a lemur or ferret or some kind of rodent? Whatever he is. Anybody know what Timon is? Anybody know what Timon is? Okay, I'll wait for that. But they are not lions, first off. And they find him out in the field, in the desert, as they were playing a game. Oh, I think I may see what's happening. Let's see. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Oh, okay. You know what? Maybe I should get out of this this stream. Not the stream itself, but I'm having some video challenges. So I'm gonna end that and I'm gonna get out of there. And let's see if that will give me my signal strength back. But yeah, I saw it one day before. A meerkat. Thank you. Thank you. A meerkat. Yes. He's a meerkat. Thank you. So you have this warthog and this meerkat, and they are out playing games. They're bowling for buzzards, I think is what they called it. And as they're bowling for these buzzards, they come across a lion cub. Simba had just ran away after his uncle Scar told him to run and then sent the hyenas to kill him. He had just been banished from his land, from his home, from his promise, his destiny. And he's out and he's given up, he's dying. He's ran away. How many times have we ran away from the space we know we were supposed to be in because something unfortunate happened? Because we became embarrassed or ashamed, or somebody told us we weren't good enough, or we were just hard-headed and didn't want to listen, so we ran away when things backfired on us. Well, that's what's happening to Simba in this space. And so, because he doesn't understand his value fully, he doesn't know who he is, he's found by a meerkat and a warthog. And he spends the next few months, years, whatever it was, hopping around the jungle, in the desert, eating bugs, eating grub, because they told him, you can't eat meat if you're going to hang with us. Why? Because they know he would eat them. So they're changing his very nature so he can hang with them. And because he don't know who he is, guess what he does? He eats the grubs and the worms and everything else too. Everything else too. Because he doesn't have the self-awareness or the value within himself that he's becoming exactly the thing that they wanted him to be. Now, did they want to misuse or abuse him? No, of course not. But they used him because he was a lion. Nobody's going to mess with him if we got a lion on our team. And now if we can just keep the lion from eating us, we got a perfect situation. And it don't seem like that when you look at the movie, but there's a lot of usurious behaviors happening in this show. And it's real life. When you don't know your value, people will use you. But when you truly become yourself, they will tend not to want you around quite as much if they're not what you are, if you're not what they are. So you have to understand who you are and the value that you hold. So the question is, how do you do that? How do you do that? Had I been reading more books, matter of fact, I had the book, The 48 Laws of Power. I already had the book. I just hadn't read it. It was just on the shelf with the other books that I hadn't read. But had I been really improving my mind, the first chapter told me to not outshine the master. The first chapter. Had I just been lazy and read the first couple of pages, I would have saw the era or the space I was going into or about to go into. Had I been growing my mind, had I had that growth mindset. Now, I will admit, it's not easy to see it coming sometimes. When that hook comes out of left field, it's not easy to see it coming. But if you have a steady foundation, you can withstand. Because we all make decisions that don't quite pan out, don't quite work out the way that we hope that they would, and then there's fallout. We've all done it because there's no such thing as a perfect person. You're not going to make the perfect decision, the perfect play. So what we do is we play small and don't make decisions and hope things work out. That way, if it don't work out, I don't have to blame me. I can blame other people. Monique said, they will until you set healthy boundaries and start holding them accountable. That's right. The only problem with that, Monique, is sometimes people have to be willing participants in that holding accountable. And most people, accountability is a word that they despise because they have a low self-value proposition. And it requires so much work to be accountable it requires so much energy to own up to your own mess. And if you haven't done that deep work, they're going to run. They're going to run. But what that means is the environment that we're in is probably not the environment we're supposed to be in, because we're lions. We're lionesses. And we're hanging out with meerkats and warthogs. We're not the same. Even though we're both the same species, we are not the same. So the culture has to, our culture has to change, but that won't change until this changes. So as you see, we back full circle again. We back full circle again. It starts right here. It's the mind. And there's only one thing we can actually control in life, right? And that's what we do. That's the only thing. I can't control what you do, how you do it, where you go. I can't. It's above my pay grade. But the one thing I can control is how I act, how I react. And so I think the lion's share of our time need to be spent there. And if we can control this person, if we can get the value out of this person, all those other things will be added unto you. You heard that somewhere before, right? Yeah. When you get a certain level of understanding and a certain level of value, once your mind begins to shift, you will demand certain things that you never demanded before, because you know it's achievable. You won't just go out there and stand in the cold water trying to hunt a fish. You will build a structure to go out there to take you further to get bigger fish. Whatever the mind can conceive, whatever you can imagine. Blue. What do you see when I say blue? Some people see a color, some people see the word, some people see a car, some people see the sky. But we get an image in our head no matter what we're doing. And if we learn to control those images, we learn to improve our minds, the way we think. Let me ask a couple of questions. How do you show up? Are you intentional about how you show up? So I'm a firm believer of protecting my space. I don't allow just anyone in my space at this point in my life. I know that's right, Toronto Riggins. I know that's right. You can't allow anyone in your space because people come with their own agendas. They see your greatness. They see your gifts. They see your talents. And it's things that they may not possess. And if they can't possess them, well, maybe they can possess you. Maybe they can get the benefit off of your gifts. Anybody ever heard of manipulation? Happens all the time. All the time. But when you show up in places, are you looking your best? Are you feeling your best? What value are you adding to the spaces that you go in? Are you growing mentally? Do you have a good support system around you? How humble are you? You see, all of these are factors in having a truly, truly good self-esteem, self-worth, your perception of the world. Because we don't see the world as it is, we see it as we are. And therein lies the rub for most people. I want to fake it until I make it. But the truth is, if you're faking it, you're just going to attract fake people. You're going to attract fake stuff. You have to become the person that you choose to be. You have to become the thing that you imagine in your mind. You can't look at other people and want to be like them fully, because you never can. There's only one them. There's only one you. And there can never be duplicates. Now, I got much love for the people who love, I know Kay gonna get on me about this one, but when I say the beehive, you know, it's okay to be a fan of people, but you can't be the person. You have something so precious inside of you that that person don't even have, and you abandoning it, trying to be like them. You will never fully recognize your own greatness if you spend your days trying to be like other people. So this channel, this show is truly dedicated to helping people become the best version of themselves, to understand that they have greatness deep within them. They don't need other people's dreams, goals to succeed. They just need the ones that they decide to have for themselves. And we can create it. We can create it. I heard, what's the guy named? Bob Proctor. Bob Proctor, he said that, 200 years ago, the ability to fly was already in the world. We just hadn't conceived on doing it yet. That's the why airplanes have wings, because we saw birds and said, you know what? If a bird can fly, we can fly too. I started taking scuba diving lessons when I was in Jamaica last year. And it's a whole new world down there that I wasn't even aware. I saw it on TV, but I hadn't seen it for myself. And somebody decided, I want to go down there where the fish is. I want to create something that'll let us do that. And they did it. So now we can not only fly through the air, we can go under the water. We can go into space. We can do everything that we decide to do as people, as humans, because we change this in a way. And we find our passions in life, and we find our dreams, and we're willing to endure whatever the cost to make those things happen. You have to be in that same place when it comes to your life. Create your own world, your own visions for your family, for yourself. It's all within our grasp, within our mind. What we see here, and that's honestly, which is why some of us have the results that we have, because we see things there that are not productive, because of that original programming, because of the trauma that we have. We make decisions based off trauma instead of making decisions based off of values and what we want and what we truly desire. And when it gets hard, we run off and the wrong people finds us. Or we get abused and we run off. And because we're abused, we choosing wrong people because they look a certain part. But what we're talking about today is how to find your value. Because when you have your value, you're not so moved or shaken by other people's thoughts, ideas, because their values may not be yours. But now when you meet people that have the same values, when those same values align, now you start building a network, you start building a community. And that's where we really want to get to. Let me get back to some of these comments. People will definitely try to prostitute your gift. People will definitely try to prostitute your gifts. Happens every day. If you're in the entertainment business, if you're an athlete, there's somebody coming for you. Somebody want to use your talents to make them rich. That's why I respect guys like a Master P, who did it his way, and the only reason he used the industry was for distribution. He did all his own promotions, did all his own sales, all his own creation, signed his own artists. I mean, it's something to be said for doing it your way. Those people who already have systems in place, it's not really designed for you to win. Just not. You can go to the people and let the people decide. If you're hot or you're not, right? That's all right. What else? Andre Till. Damn, I needed this. Good morning, bro. Thanks. Anytime, my guy. Thanks for stopping through. If you like the comment, subscribe, and also share. Share. I do this for the people, man. For our community. Trust the process and love and understand your value. D-Rob Trainer, welcome back, my guy. Good morning. You see, life, man, life is as sweet as you want it to be. But you have to want it to be that. And also you have to understand that just like those animals that are born and 30 minutes later they're walking around, they only survive off instinct. So they have to be more dialed in, more focused on the day. Have you ever tried to shoo an animal off of a breadcrumb or some food or something, and they don't want to leave? Because they may haven't had a meal in 3 days. So as much as they want to live, they want to eat just as bad, because if they don't eat, they're not going to keep living. They're fighting for their life when they're acting off instinct. And as humans, we have the same level of instinct. However, we also have the gift of intellect, self-actualization. We determine our destinies, our futures. But too often, we let other people decide for us. We let other people put us into their system, and they use us up until they find the next person to use up. Or we get a little too mouthy, or we get a little too rebellious, and then they kick us to the curb and they try to find somebody else. We're talking about writing your own ticket, choosing the life that you want to have, and becoming the best version of yourself so you can do that. Good conversation, guys. Really appreciate it. All right, let's get into these affirmations real quick so then we can close out and make these days amazing. So we're going to start with, I'm going to give you guys first 20, 30 seconds to kind of talk about what you are. The I am statement is a declaration to the universe. It's a declaration to yourself. I chose it because when Moses was talking to the burning bush, talking to God in the burning bush, he asked God, when he was talking about Pharaoh, what do I say when Pharaoh asks who my God is and who sent me? He said, tell him that I am. Tell him that I am sent you. The great I am sent you. And I know some people have troubles pulling on the spot, goals and affirmations. That's also why I created this gratitude journal. And it says today's gratitudes. You give 3 of those. What inspires me today, and your affirmations. And no, I did not fill it out while we were talking. However, you can go to JamonGloverSpeaks.com/journal, and you can download your copy. It's free. I put that together for you guys to kind of start dialing in on the things that you're grateful for, but also the things that you're commanding and declaring from the universe, from God, from whatever you believe. We have the ability to demand and command things and call things that are not as though they were. So, all right, so let's get into the affirmations. I'll let you go first, and then I will join in momentarily. I am more than enough. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am the blessed. I am the called. I am valuable. I am worthy of everything I set my heart to. I am the promise of my ancestors. I am the dream that they dreamed. But I'm also the foundation for the future, for my children and their children and their children. I am happy and excited to own multiple properties around the world. I am happy and excited to make my last year's income my monthly income. Oh, I am excited and happy because I am a great person. And with more resources, I will do great things. I am worthy. I am deserving of everything that I command and I ask for. I am more than enough. I am worthy. I am worthy. And I am more than enough. and so are you. You see, the affirmations are amazing to me because it gives me a charge. It gives me this rush of calling those things that may not be in existence right now, but when I command it, I see it here. Like, I'm so happy and excited that I'm going to be, or that I am, a 6-time best-selling author. I am happy and excited. I am worthy. I am more than enough. That charge, that's how you want to start every day. Download your gratitude journals. Write in those things that you affirm, that I am statement. And if you find yourself kind of down throughout the day, gratitudes. Oh man, I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful that my parents are here. I'm grateful that nobody is sick in my family. I'm grateful that I am alive and well. I'm grateful that I didn't give up. It's so many things to be grateful for to turn your mood around. Because as we've been saying, if you vibrate on a higher level, you will come up to where those things that you want. That Bentley GT Continental that I want is vibrating up here. Everybody don't qualify for it. So I have to raise my vibration to get there. Having multiple properties, to be a 6-time best-selling author, those are lofty ideals and dreams. And that's what success is. Success is the pursuit. It's the journey of chasing a worthy ideal. It's not the money that's successful that makes you successful. It's the journey that makes you successful. And the money is the byproduct of success. The money is the byproduct of success. So before my song run out, man, I know I go a little long on these shout outs, but I really want to do, man. I really appreciate you. I'm gonna start from the bottom this time, and I'm gonna work my way back up. D-Rob Training. Good morning, my brother. So happy to see you. Monique says, Toronto Riggins, happy to have you here. Thanks for joining us, sis. Andre Till, yo, welcome. I'm glad you was here to chime in. Positive self-talk. Got much love and respect. Thank you for always being here. Health talk. Yo, you know we got love. We got big plans this weekend, my guy. I'll see you then. That chick, yo. That's my cousin right there, y'all. That chick, yo, always representing for your boy. Gary G, that's my guy. Gary G, so many stories. We'll share them another time, though. That's my guy, though. Me and Gary go way back in a short amount of time. Positive self-talk again. Thank you. Everybody that's here. Craig G, Brick by Brick. You guys have always shown out and shown much respect, and I appreciate it, man. It lets me know that I'm operating in the right space, that I'm doing the things that I am supposed to be doing, that I'm operating at a frequency that's unique for me. So I'm grateful for all of you. I'm grateful for your time, because I know it's first thing in the morning, but I want your day to be charged, full of energy, that you can accomplish whatever goals you set forward to. Last but not least, I want to shout out my baby girl, Imani. I love you, sweetie. Thank you for being there for Pops. Appreciate you. D-Rob Trainer said, yes, sir. I made it tuned in from Texas. Hey, Texas in the building. Yeah, we're going to do a shout out one day, man. Find out where everybody's from. But yeah, I was just in Texas back in May, man. I was out in the Fort Worth area. Ate some Velvet Taco. There's a restaurant there. Velvet Taco is a restaurant there. I don't know where some of y'all at right now. But yeah, man, I appreciate all of you. I'm grateful for this time and this opportunity. But if you haven't already, hit that like button. Thanks for the comment. Subscribe if you haven't. And share it with your family and friends, man. We're trying to build a community of people that enhances our community and changes some of our cultures. Because it starts first on the inside, and then it comes out to the outside. All right, it's Friday Junior. It's Friday Junior. Health Talk. Thanks for the dedication, my brother. Thank you. You guys make it easier. So much easier. So much easier. But all right, guys, I'm about to get off. I got a lot of activity moving today. A lot of things to do. So y'all be blessed. I'll see you Friday. We're going to do some Feel Good Friday stuff. So we'll tune in tomorrow. Y'all be blessed. Peace out.